Alright, so today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the new Diadem Warrior Edge. If you're interested in the Diadem Warrior Edge, I have some links in the description below. Full disclosure, if you decide to purchase the Diadem Warrior Edge or any paddles through the links below, then I may get a kickback at no additional charge to you, but it's just a small way for you to show me that you support me and support the channel. If you came here for hard tests and numbers, then you must be confusing me with some other channels out there. But if you came here for my personal opinion, then what the heck is wrong with you? Because why would you care about what I think? Regardless, I'm gonna tell you what I think anyways. So to me, the Edge is like the Warrior's younger brother, but a bit edgier. So first off, I'm gonna go through aesthetics, and I want to just tell you that I think aesthetically, it's not a bad looking paddle, but it's also not a great looking paddle. I actually think the regular Warrior is a much better looking paddle. But to be fair, any paddle with this kind of, you know, etched in carbon fiber surface, they all kind of look the same. I mean, you can't really paint over on top of it to get a nice graphic on it. I mean, carbon has the painted letters on the side, which makes it look a little bit different, but for the most part, all these paddles kind of look the same to me. So why do they call it the Warrior Edge? Well, apparently it's because of this new Aero edge guard that they have, and it's basically just a regular plastic edge guard, but it's like ridged. And I reached out to Diadem and I asked them, what's the purpose of this ridged new edge guard that they had? And they basically said it's to increase aerodynamics.
Are you serious?
Okay, so I'm not gonna say that that claim is complete BS, but I'm also not gonna sit here and tell you that I calculated the drag coefficient in some sort of constant controlled wind tunnel and compare the results to other paddles out there. It's probably not making that much of a difference. Like, I bet you can't tell. And I bet you that those companies out there didn't calculate it either. Now, all kidding aside, when I first picked up this paddle, I wasn't initially wowed by it, and I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it, at least compared to the regular Warrior. And also, coming from the regular Warrior, the Warrior Edge also felt pretty light. They say that it's 8.0 ounces, but I've actually weighted it and it comes in at 7.8. I've also asked some other people who also have the paddle, and they also confirmed that it's 7.8 ounces, which, to be fair, at least it's consistent. I would say my first initial impression of the paddle was that it felt more crisp compared to the regular Warrior, whereas the regular Warrior felt more plush, right? And when I say crisp, I mean like the feedback response, like you can really feel the vibrations within the paddle. It's not necessarily a bad thing. There's not like a huge, you know, amount of vibrations, but it felt more so than the regular Warrior, whereas the regular Warrior felt more plush, where it absorbed the vibrations just a little bit more. Now, typically I like a more plush feeling paddle, and the real reason is because when I hit it off center, I don't necessarily feel the vibrations as much. And the Warrior Edge, when you hit it specifically off center, because of its weight and its lightness, I feel like it feels more unforgiving than other paddles.
All you need to know is that I made it, baby.
Now, most people will probably not like this. Nobody likes that feeling of like a unforgiving shot when you make contact with the ball. Basically, the answer to that is just to hit it in the center of the paddle. But I actually kind of like it, or at least I've grown to like it. The reason I like that is because if I hit it off center, it's like the paddle is telling me that I hit a bad shot. It's almost like the Edge is speaking to me, like it's saying, bruh, play better. Okay, next thing on the list is spin. And yes, it gets a lot of spin. I mean, any paddle with this carbon etched surface typically gets a lot of spin. And using the very scientific method of my eyeball, I'm hitting shots and angles that were just really difficult for me to do before. My shots now are like dipping right above the net. They're finding the back of the line. And let me tell you, it feels nice. At least for my drives, drops, and rolls, I'm just way more confident, and I'm hitting shots and angles that I really couldn't hit before. Now, when it comes to dinking, resets, blocks, smashes, I actually think I prefer the regular Warrior just a little bit more. Now, the Edge isn't bad in those categories by any means, but because I think it's lighter in the way that it's balanced in comparison to the regular Warrior, I feel like it just doesn't absorb the vibrations nearly as much, and that extra weight also doesn't help it with its put away power when I'm with the net smashing. I mean, not to say that I can't put stuff away, but I don't know, when I hit with the regular Warrior, at least with or with a heavier paddle, the smashes just feel that much more satisfying. Now, speaking of weight and balance, the Warrior Edge does come out on top in maneuverability. I just feel like at the net, I just have so much confidence in the fast exchanges and the hand battles. Like, I feel like I can go toe-to-toe with anybody. So overall, I would categorize this paddle as an all-court paddle for a very, very aggressive, control-oriented player. The stock weight and balance that it comes at, I just feel like it doesn't give enough plow through and enough power if you are a power player. So the Diadem Warrior Edge, dope or nope? Well, for 175 USD, it's pretty dope. I mean, dope enough for me to switch to it. My only concern or potential caveat to switching to this paddle is that I just don't know if it's going to stay legal with all the people complaining about these paddles with this type of surface. Maybe it'll be banned in the future. Who knows? So I'm kind of wary of that. I know it happened to CRBN. I know people are now retesting some of the Joola paddles. I think it's only a matter of time before they test the Warrior Edge, and I'm afraid it may not be legal for tournaments. I don't know. That's just something to think about, something that may concern you. It definitely concerns me and is somewhere in the back of my head. And that's about it. Till next time, play better. Peace.